Most spiritual awakenings start off with that one event. Sometimes that event can be quite traumatic. I know it was for me. My spiritual awakening started off with me about to kill myself. My wife had left me, which sent me into a deep depression. I didn't care about anyone or anything. I just wanted the pain to end. I was sitting beside my bed, crying and wishing that it was over. I reached under the bed, grabbed the gun, and put it to my chin. And when I went to pull the trigger, all of a sudden, the gun felt like it was grabbed from my hand and flew 12 feet into the wall. I have to say, I was quite stunned. I sat up in a chair and I started seeing visions, like they were in the room with me. Then I closed my eyes and saw a timeline of my whole life happen within seconds. And my spiritual awakening has been going on ever since. I would love to hear what started your spiritual awakening. If you'd like to share, leave a comment below. I find that most people just waking up into the spiritual world want to bypass the fundamentals and fast track to enlightenment. I have to admit, I started doing the same thing when I started out. Have you ever gotten stuck in the mud and when you hit the gas, the tires just spin? I will guarantee you that's what's going to happen if you try to hit the fast track. It's like having a nail in one hand and a hammer in the other, not knowing what they do or what can be accomplished by them. I have some really advanced videos coming up in the future. If you don't want to miss these, I suggest hitting that subscribe button below. If you hit the bell icon as well, it will alert you when the next video comes out. So this term, spiritual awakening, what does it really mean? I hear people say that they have gone through a spiritual awakening. Like one minute they were this way, and the next minute they were that way. That's not really how it works. Now, you may have an experience that lit the fire and sent you on your journey, but that's just a small part of spiritual awakening. I will tell you that this spiritual awakening will last you your whole life. It will never stop, nor could you go back. You will flounder at times, you can bet on that, but the curiosity will overcome you, and you will want to know more. So usually after the first event, you start to gain a sense of increased awareness and consciousness, where one feels more present and mindful in the moment. You start this understanding of this connection of all life, recognizing that everything and everyone is part of a larger whole. What this larger whole is, well, that's a mystery. You will hear and read about many explanations of what this is, but honestly, I don't think anyone really knows. I think it's beyond our little brain's comprehension. Then you start to figure out that the ego has been running the show the whole time. You start to discover a deep sense of self that transcends the ego, leading to a greater awareness and self-acceptance. That's a big one. Most people have a hard time accepting themselves. And for the most part, they were taught that way. We are taught that we are inferior, and we're shown what perfect really is. And the whole time, we know that we can't reach that idea of perfect. What we don't know yet is that perfect and imperfect, they don't exist. They are just another duality that ego has made to throw us off our path. Next, we start to release negative patterns, letting go of our negative thoughts, behaviors, and emotional patterns that no longer serve our higher purpose. Keep in mind, it doesn't matter whether you're just beginning, 10, 20, 30 years into the show. All of this stuff that I'm talking about will happen to you the whole time. Don't fall into this new age ego death. You want your ego. It's a great teacher. You find yourself starting to work on emotional and psychological healing. You learn how to release repressed emotions and past traumas, resulting in emotional healing and greater emotional balance. you start experiencing a sense of inner peace and calmness, regardless of the external circumstance. Sooner or later, you will realize that these external circumstances don't affect you like they used to. After that, you will realize that you are here as an observer, not an ego wanting to react to the situation. You start to shift your values and priorities. You develop greater compassion and empathy for others, often accompanied by a desire to help and serve. This comes from an understanding that we are all one consciousness. There is no black, there is no white, there's no Republican or Democrat, Christian or Muslim. There is no them and us. There is just us. You align your actions and decisions with a sense of higher purpose and meaning. The lower dimensional 3D things that you were used to start to fall away. You will find that when you first start off, those third dimensional activities will try to pull you back. Don't beat yourself. Indulge and see how it makes you feel. It's sort of like eating those orange marshmallow sugar peanuts that you used to eat as a kid. Try them now. I bet the taste will make you cringe. So after you get rid of all the third dimensional lower vibrational junk you've been carrying around for all this time, that's when the fun spiritual stuff starts to pop up. You start to get this enhanced sense of intuition and insight. Developing a stronger intuition and sense of inner guidance, often referred to as inner knowing or inner voice. The more you work at this, the stronger it gets. You start to gain a clarity about life's purpose and direction, leading to a more meaningful and fulfilling existence. Then the connections of divine start to happen, experiencing moments of divine connection or mystical experiences where one feels a direct connection with a higher power or the universe. This usually happens a little bit further down the road. You recognize the sacredness in everyday life and find spirituality in ordinary experiences. Things like eating, drinking water, or just walking. Your relationships with friends and family start to change. Many of the friends that you have right now won't be the same friends that you have in a few months. Understanding that most will not understand you, and some will even think you're nuts. You might feel a little lonely at this point. Don't try to push being friends with people that you know in your heart is not a match with you. You want to build more authentic and meaningful relationships based on mutual respect, love, and understanding. Let the friendship just happen. You will want to move away from relationships that are harmful or no longer resonate with your higher self. And yes, family is included in this. Most family will just tolerate you, but some, you will realize that you just have to cut ties. At this point, you are moving into integration and balance, integrating spiritual insights into daily life, leading to a more balanced and harmonious way of living. Before my awakening, I used to be into football. When my team would lose, I would have a bad week. It felt like the end of the world to me. Now, I can't remember the last time I watched a football game. Like I said before, many of these third dimensional things will mean nothing to you. Understand that spiritual awakening is an ongoing process of growth, learning, and evolution. Spiritual awakening is a deep, personal, and transformative journey that can lead to a greater awareness, inner peace, and a more meaningful life. It involves a shift of perception and consciousness that allows individuals to connect with a higher reality and their true selves. While the experience and process of awakening can vary greatly among individuals, it often results in profound positive changes and a deeper sense of fulfillment. Many people that are going through an awakening ask me, what is the most important thing to know in my awakening process? My answer to that is Absolutely cultivate mindfulness. Without it, you will miss so much and your spiritual growth will be much, much slower. If you want to learn how to become more mindful on your spiritual journey, watch this next video.